Moving on to bad OCs.
Okay, so
Commander.
here we have my OC, Opposing Starlight, and that is the name, is Opposing Starlight. I'll try to go through this rather quick. Opposing Starlight is a pony from the United Kingdom. Ha! Horse puns.
Another UK pony.
And she has a British accent, or that sort of general like area accent, as she was born and raised there. She's generally a very sort of soft and sweet pony, but sometimes is like can be a bit hyperactive, and like the artist compares her to having like sort of like Pinkie Pie in a like what's the episode? Griffin the Brush Off, sort of where she can just like she'll just like pop in places, sort of just being a little bit random like that. She loves doing her hobbies include singing and painting and drawing. She loves artsy kinds of things, which I mean, that's very common with ponies that we see. And she loves apparently, even though she was born and raised in the United Kingdom, I guess she moved to Ponyville because she loves to visit Zakora when she feels she feels like she wants to like calm down or meditate. And she compares her to like if she was in like a high school clique, she'd be in this sort of like hippie group because she loves nature and animals and meditation and stuff like that. Occasionally tries to practice the kinds of like, I guess, zebra magic that, like Zakora, but no, she apparently knows that she never will be able to, which, like, you're never gonna be able to do it if you don't, like put your mind
It's
away.
just alchemy.
Come on, you just gotta, like, it's about you and you. Like, you just gotta push yourself.
Just alchemy.
Yeah. But anyways, so, Starlight got her Cutie Mark when she was a filly, which they use years here, Meti, but I'm going to assume but here's how I'm going to say. It is the relative age as if they were a human. That's how I imagine pony years, that when most people say them. But when she was around 13 years old, so like young adult or young teenager kind of age, and she's currently 22, so she's like an adult. And when it happened, she had been, it's like just after she'd started visiting Zakora, like from time to time, she was left Zakora's place, which apparently she spends all of her time there, to set off to high school. So she was there like before school, and she found a bunch of ponies arguing, and then like she quickly went to break up the fight and help the ponies sort out their differences and different points of views. And then after that, this became a very common thing that she would do, and to like help out others and realize their differences. And that is what got her Cutie Mark. And apparently she was like one of the first to get them in her grade. And a bunch of other ponies were jealous, but they got over themselves. And her Cutie Mark is a yin and yang symbol in flames of a shooting star. And she claims that it means that being an opposite is okay, and any dream can come true if you ignore the differences that you are perhaps jealous of or angry at. And that I'm reading that verbatim, just because since this is a Cutie Mark episode, I'm kind of just not even sure what exactly that means.
You don't understand what a Cutie Mark is.
Yeah, I mean,
a Cutie Mark is a symbolic image representation of your special talent. Be it a symbolic representation of your personality as well, maybe.
If you're good.
A symbolic representation of something about you, possibly. But it's about your special talent.
That is the first and foremost thing of what a Cutie Mark is.
And unless your special talent is some sort of Zen fireball, then I do not believe that you should have a yin and yang on fire.
Yeah. Which, which that's pretty much all that there is for the real information on the characters. So I kind of want to just sort of dive into the Cutie Marks, since that's that's the theme of the episode.
I'd like to dive into her rainbow arm.
Yeah, okay, really quickly, I don't know what's up with that. None of the other like hooves have that. Get rid of it. I can think of nothing. I have to be blunt. Like it doesn't make sense.
I'd rather have rainbows in the hair than I would have it on the arm.
It doesn't make any sense. It looks like it's just part of the coat, which makes even less sense. And it's only the only one that has it, so I don't know whether that was like an error, and if it was, how did you not notice it? I'm assuming it wasn't, because that would be very strange, but it just doesn't make any sense or look good at all.
No logical sense made.
I apologize for being blunt. But besides that, because that was something I was just going to loft over whatever words. But for the Cutie Mark, so first I'm going to look at this from just as you have. If you just went with the Cutie Mark, sort of what it technically is right now, the Cutie Mark, first off, it's really large. Like it goes all the way down the side of the flank, which Cutie Marks, I mean, they can be a little bit big, but they usually stick to they don't really go below the actual body point, or the stomach kind of area. They don't sink too far below this, whereas this one, it would be closer to the size of the yin and yang symbol alone. Another thing is, I don't understand the star at the end of the yin yang symbol. Like even with the Cutie Mark as is, it doesn't. It's sort of.
It's a shooting star, though.
But that's not how It's not how that works.
No, you see, when a shooting star is actually just a ball of gas falling through the sky.
No, it's not just a ball of gas. Get out.
And the thing we see as it zooms past the sky is a little light attached to the end of that ball of gas.
I hate you.
It's just science, Commander. I'm sorry you didn't learn about that.
Oh my god. But anyways.
Also, the Cutie Mark is different in the image and on the pony.
Yeah, which, I mean, I get that, you have to redraw it and stuff like that. However, you want to have it be generally, very consistent with.
Or just draw it and save it as a separate image and import it every time.
And then you can manipulate it from there, which I'm not sure what else to say about that. But yeah, I mean, that's just a thing you probably want to, especially if you want to get art of your character, that's something that you should, stray away from, is just having it be different in a bunch of pictures.
You should look into.
You should look into doing that. But, do you want to, before we tackle what possible changes, do you want to look at the other stuff for the pony, aesthetics and stuff?
Cut the Zecora part out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It seems very
it's not a huge self-insert because Zecora isn't a main cast member. Yeah, but it's still up there because Zecora is still probably one of the smartest characters in the show, and she was also outcasted by a bunch of ponies from season 1. So I have high doubts that any pony is going and visiting her shack as their time off afternoon
all
schedule.
All the time. Which I will give them that they mention that she knows who the main 6 are, but she doesn't really she doesn't really know or really particularly pay attention to them. So I will give her that.
Well, I mean, even that's a little metagaming nowadays, because we've fucking seen that no one knows who the main 6 are in show.
Yeah, yeah. I don't you'd think that ponies would at least know who they are, so she at least she knows a little about them. So I think that makes sense. Honestly,
fucking metagamers.
But yeah, the Zecora stuff, I still am just trying to understand how when you got to Ponyville. That's one of the things I'm trying to understand. Which I'm
trying to understand how fucking Zecora is.
Yeah, because I personally, I think that you could accomplish all of the things that you wanted with this character by leaving them living in the United Kingdom, as it were, and you just would have to cut out the Zecora stuff, and then it would be the exact same story. And I think that one thing, when people see, like, not everyone, obviously, but when, like, just people who just don't look at OCs all the time, especially see...
People who don't devote their lives now to it because of some silly podcast they made about a year ago.
Shut up. But like, people, they see, oh, you live for like visiting this show character all the time. It sort of is, it's a turn off to a lot of people. And I mean,
it's a turnoff because what makes you so special that you are the character who is allowed to visit the show character?
Which, if you develop an actual, like, fully fleshed out story, that's obviously a different thing.
If you develop an alternate universe, that's a different thing.
Yeah, but, I mean, as it stands right now, it doesn't... I don't feel that it adds anything, so... By Occam's razor, since it is not accomplishing anything specific, and it could easily be left out and not change the story at all, and in fact it could slightly improve it. I personally feel that I would not include that. The color palette, I like the direction it's going in. I think that if you just made the coat color either a little bit lighter or maybe less saturated, I can't tell if it is, I think lighter, and then do a similar sort of thing with the mane, that would, I feel, make the character much more appealing, especially for the show, especially the red. The red is definitely way too dark and a bit too saturated, so I'd change that. The way that when I was looking at this pony and reading about them, I was like, okay, so they like solving people's problems. Maybe they could be a counselor kind of character, which...
How the fuck does yin and yang go with...
Which, the way that they rationalize it is that they like make it means that they can help people who are opposite of each other maybe understand, and that's okay because people are opposite.
But that's not what yin and yang stands for.
But yeah, well, I mean, it is sort of the duality. I mean, yin and yang.
Yin and yang is good and evil colliding.
Yin and yang is a general sort of thing, part of like Taoism, that it is talks about the duality of nature and of life. It's not just necessarily good and evil. It's about like the just general things and how the world functions on this this system of like you have light and dark, good and evil, like you said, like that. But there's a lot of different parts to it. So I mean, I can understand the wanting to use the yin and yang symbol. However,
we don't agree with it.
In this situation, if you do, I would at least get rid of the shooting the star part and the having the star at the end, and then maybe try and find. I think the going down a route of find what this character would be doing for a living, because I think that having something to do with counselor would be could be a possible thing, and then also with the name, I'm not a particular fan of the name. I'm sorry. I feel like the biggest part that I have an issue with the name is it just feels really long, because like opposing Starlight, that's the whole name, which. It just seems odd. I have a lot of things to say about this character. I have enough things to say about this character that if you like want to like come talk to me if you have any questions, because I did not get to say everything I wanted to necessarily, I'd be willing to like try and work with some time if you want to do that. I'm just throwing that out there because we need to move on.
So that's everything?
That's everything that I can fit.
Remember, send your hate mail to commandersparkle@givememoney.com.
I want to help you out with this OC. I think it has potential. Oh.
Moving on to the last OC. This is Nightshine. Nightshine is an OC created by NASCAR Cat Car. Basically, something horrible happened to her to her home and her family, and something's happened to them. I'm assuming they're dead because of how angry she is, and apparently Celestia could have prevented it. And so...
But never showed up.
What?
But she never showed up.
But she never showed up. Too bad. Fucking man. The deity can't be everywhere at once. I hate her now for more than anything. And and something worse at the time was occurring elsewhere that Celestia had to
pay attention
fucking
to.
take care of. Like, seriously. She's one horse. Nightshine was also one of the only ones who came out of the incident, and since has sworn to make Celestia pay for her inaction.
Even though she was acting elsewhere.
Except for, yeah, exactly. She's fucking one horse. Her special talent is dark magic. That's everything we know on her. She's a dark magic user. And that's her special talent. But look at that ugly cutie mark. Like, I guess I could get the dark magic vibe from it because it's the colors that Sombra has when he uses magic. But it just doesn't work here. Like, stars and vortex do not equal magic.
I can at least see the direction. However, that being said, like the cutie mark would work better alone just by getting rid of most of the stars and having like maybe like one star, like two stars working together in the center. I can buy that, but with all the tiny ones, it's just a bit much.
It's a lot too much. Looks like a little galaxy on her butt. Also, color scheme. It's not that great. It's not that. It's very saturated. That blue is really ugly to look at.
Yeah,
like the yellow.
I could dig the yellow. I think the outline of the yellow, well, one, it seems to be different in a couple different places. On the top of the mane, it's a little bit darker. I would definitely go with the lighter. I would make it even lighter than you did anywhere there.
Maybe something around the eye color, because the eye color is lovely.
Yeah, I do definitely like the eye color. That's a nice orange.
Though I don't like your iris.
I mean, dude, she's part dragon. Didn't you know? But
she's Sombra.
I mean,
she's actually the daughter of King Sombra and Princess Celestia.
Stop.
Like, seriously, bro.
Stop.
Though I do like your eye color. Maybe make that your main color and just tone the blue down like a whole lot. Like, a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, idea. Because this is another thing. I don't...
Make her green.
No. Because I personally, I don't understand, like, where did you get the armor from Nightmare Moon, first off? Second off, why would you have that anyways? Why would you need that? That doesn't help boast dark magic.
Her from Celestia's evilness.
However, one thing I can say is I like that blue, that color blue that is of like this in the center of the armor. I like that. I think that has a lot more potential for the
maybe
color.
Use the color of the armor. And you know what would be even cooler?
What?
Is because right now, blanket fucking villain right here. Like, you want to be like against Celestia, if all things. Here's a little Meti tip when it comes to building a character. If you're against someone, do not wear the opposing colors of that person. Do not flaunt your evilness at them.
But that's how villains work, dude.
How about she's wearing Celestial Guard armor? And she's just getting closer and closer up the ranks until she's able to get into the same room with Celestia without being, like, looked at funnily. Then you can finally plot your strike of revenge. You're going to lose. Like, actually, you're probably going to win.
Celestia has a losing streak going on.
Celestia is about 0-3 when it comes to fighting villains.
Yeah.
But a good thing for your character would not be to be all like,
I'm going to kill Celestia. I will shout it from the mountaintops.
If I'm planning a war against a king, I am not wearing not the king's colors. I am wearing the king's colors to get close to the king so I can kill the king.
Yeah, that'd be like wearing like a fuck the king t-shirt or something like that. But I do like the idea that you were sort of going at, like of sort of like maybe like an infiltration kind of thing. I think, though it would be a bit harder since the character's a mayor and
conflicting storyline, because she could be like, she's starting to actually enjoy life in the guard, and she doesn't want to stop because she's made friends and it's changed her life entirely, but she just hates Celestia all that much more.
But then she maybe like learns about the fact that it wasn't Celestia's fault because there was other things that had to be done, and she like comes to understand there's room for growth, there's room for development.
And then we take this one-dimensional character, this Celestia hating, Nightmare Moon supporting activist Republican pony using dark magic, and we just make her into a three-dimensional, like, whoa, that's, like, decently well-written.
That's something you could have a fanfic about.
Exactly. This is, like...
That is a testament of an OC, I feel. Is like, if you can have a character that has enough depth to it that either you are or you could write a fanfic about it and it would be enjoyable. That's something that, I mean, that's not the litmus test necessarily, but if you can do that, that shows that your character is like well crafted.
I would find another way to represent dark magic, so she just doesn't get given away right away.
Yeah, I feel like having the talent of dark magic would be a little bit hard for that, though.
The talent of dark magic is like
kind of weird.
Fucking really powerful talent. Oh, I'm yawning. It's a really powerful talent, and I guess I don't mind a character having it, but it's like it's almost too powerful. Like Twilight is literally, her talent is magic.
Yeah.
And that's why she becomes the Princess of Magic. Like,
oh, friendship.
Fucking no, it's the Princess of Magic because friendship is magic. You loser.
Oh, pardon me.
Anyways, Twilight becomes the Princess of Magic basically, but like there's a dark magic user. Does that mean like if you tap into dark magic enough, you could become theoretically an alicorn? Unlike where like Applejack can't tap too deeply into apples and become an alicorn.
I don't know, she's pretty deep in those apples.
Yeah, she's already too deep. There's no way out. She's not an alicorn. Fluttershy can't tap too deep into her animal talking. She's already talked down a dragon. She's already talked down some of the biggest animals out there. She's talked down the guardian of Tartarus.
Yeah, Tartarus, which still makes me laugh the way they say that.
She's fucking. You don't have Rarity. She can't. She's made the dress of her lifetime. She's never gonna be an alicorn from her dress making.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. Though this raises a question of so her talent is dark magic. So was she like, how old was she when this thing happened to her and her family?
Apparently old enough.
Because she must not have been old enough that she had her cutie mark, because I really doubt that she'd have a talent in dark magic.
Maybe she caused the destruction.
Yeah. Ooh.
Maybe she is her own self-fulfilling.
Yeah, that would be... Oh, God. Because that totally just got me on a train of, like, the idea that it was through, like, when she sort of did something and that tapped into the dark magic that became... when it came
memory of the entire incident, too.
Yeah, it totally, like, she didn't even realize it, and Celestia was off doing something else, and it happened so fast, and it was her fault, but then she woke up, and everything around her is just, like, destroyed, gone. She doesn't understand anything. She's just utterly confused, and then she gets angry, and this dark magic is just, like, flowing inside of her. Oh my god. That's
so fucking
That
good.
got really cool. Like, this is not the OC that I expected this to happen on. Holy shit.
Like a few changes can really make an OC.
They really can, like, because you have the idea there, and it's an idea that is, probably a little bit cliche.
The idea here is revenge,
but it's just a sort of archetypal idea of a character. But there's it's in a way that you could like.
So much more.
You could like extrapolate so much from this character just from like the story. Like literally, you have written 2 lines on this character, and then another line of her talent is dark magic. And look at how much how many like flourishing ideas there are with this. I think that I'm surprised, like genuinely, with this character.
I mean, we were given a very generic topic, but still. So yeah, basically, the closing notes. You should change your colors a little bit because they're very saturated and very hard to look at. They're, in layman's terms, they're ugly.
Yeah, I mean,
not in a mean way. They're just ugly to look at.
Look at the way that they do colors in like the show. Like that's the way you want. Though I will admit, having it be a little bit darker for this
color
character,
theory.
Having it be a little bit darker with this character, I feel like could work.
Study color theory.
if you can.
Change your backstory a little bit. Like maybe make your character not so one-dimensional.
I mean, yeah, like we
if you want to take our fucking take my idea. Yeah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm never gonna use it anyway.
Yeah, like we are obviously not some end all be all, but I think that those things would make this OC go from, honestly, no offense, I mean it's a kind of quote unquote bad OC to something that is like I would like look at that and I'd be like, this is actually like I could see that as a villain character, like maybe not necessarily in the show, but easily in like an AU, easily. I guess we'll move on to voting.
Voting it is.
So, Meti, we've come to this time. I don't know how you did voting with Mollified, but like, is there any?
We just try to convince each other whose OC was
okay,
better.
Yeah, that's how I had explained. Went with Mollified because I figured that made sense. So you want to read off the OCs?
So the OCs brought in today. The Commander brought in Amber Birch by Minty Kit. I brought in Jane Sea Salt by Zelta Zelly. So, Commander, what did you think? I gotta go first, actually. God damn it.
Wait, why do you have to go first?
Because I have to sell you if you've convinced me. Because you were the first one to go.
Wait, so who's talking about the OC first?
You talk about you didn't convince me.
Oh, I didn't convince you.
No, I still think that Jane Sea Salt was the best OC here tonight.
Oh God, the thing is, like, I honestly liked things with both these OCs a lot. I definitely feel like there's the way that your OC was crafted and a lot of the aesthetics, and it was very, very good OC. And I'm honestly debating. I'm trying to figure out whether you won me over or not. Because
I always win them over.
Oh yeah, you do. But God, like I really liked my OC, but like I kind of liked yours more.
Yeah, victory. Dun, 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 dun.
I still love you, Autumn Bird. Shoot, Mint Kid. He's still good OC.
Bad OC time. Well, Commander brought in Opposing Starlight by British Octopus. I brought in Nightshine by NASCAR Cat Car. So, I gotta admit, I can't really hate my OC right now. I mean, like, she's bland, she's a little bit boring, but she's not as bad as some of the things, like, your OC was worse.
Yeah, it's like this is the point where we have to decide what we're voting for. Because it's like I would say that my OC is technically the worst OC, but there is so much potential, like, because I mean, we can do the voting however the fuck we want it, honestly. Change it up in the middle.
I don't care.
I don't know. Like,
I'm just saying your OC was probably the worst of the night, but Nightshine, she captured our hearts.
She really did. Like I was blown away by that, Meti. Like I will admit, for yours, I didn't even think about this before, but like I've seen that mane and tail, like literally that mane and tail many times.
Oh yeah, she's very generic.
Very generic. But there's
her story was fine.
But there's just so much room.
The story we made up made her just so much better because story makes a character.
Yeah, like it's really true. Like God, I mean, if we're going for just worst, I guess mine, because there was a lot of stuff there, but it was just there wasn't as much substance to the character. Whereas yours was like there wasn't really anything there, and it was kind of, at first I was like, oh, this is pretty eh, but then I ended up loving it.
Yeah.
So I guess did I win you over?
Well, I mean, you didn't win me over, but yeah, your OC was worse.
Hey, is my OC worse than yours? But
yeah, totally. It's fucking garbage. What it is.
No, but like, I feel like both of the OCs today, the bad OCs, honestly, they are redeemable, and it just will take a little bit of work, a little bit of like putting some more thought into it, changing colors and stuff like that. But they have potential to be good characters, both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, that was the show. Before we go, we'd like to remind you that we have an upcoming 50th episode, which is our 1-year anniversary, and it will be a questions and answers episode. So, if you have any questions and you would like to send it to us, please feel free to send it to us. But where can they send it to us, Meti? Well, you see, they can send us to these lovely plugs. It is eurocsucks.deviantart.com, at eurocsucks at twitter.com, eurocsuckspodcast at gmail.com, and eurocsuckspodcast@tumblr.com. Remember, send your questions, your fan art, your OCs, all to this one place. It'd be amazing. It'd be nice. I'd love it. Love to see that. We all love to see it.
Yeah.
I have been your humble host, Meti Bobo. I've been joined by
Commander Sparkle.
And remember, I will see you guys later.
Your OC sucks!
Your OC sucks!